Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's video, I'll be going over this. This is the third wave of the Netflix War for Cybertron series figures. Now, these are Walmart exclusives and these kind of just crept up on us. I think about a week or two ago, they were leaked or we saw images of these figures, and the next thing you know, they were already showing up in the stores. So from left to right, we have here deep cover. So kind of interesting, we're getting a second deep cover in the War for Cybertron line. I think I would have preferred if they actually made this a new character similar to what they did with Hot Link. The second figure in this wave is Kingdom Cheetor, just repainted in a much nicer metallic. Here's the side of the box of him in cheetah mode with the maximal symbol. This one, I'm guessing he's just a little bit more accurate in terms of the tone of the color, a lot more orange, but I'll go over him a bit more when I take him out of the box. Next we have this Deseeus army drone, is that how you say it? See over here is a Quintesson, it's a Quintesson faction symbol, I guess. He basically utilizes the Siege Ironhide mold. A closer look at him later. Here's the side of the box. So he is a drone. And the last deluxe in this wave is the Sparkless Bot. You can see it's a Decepticon. This is from the Netflix series where you had these legions of, I guess we thought they were zombies, but I guess they're Decepticon zombies. Maybe this is what happens to the characters when the energy from their sparks are harnessed and they're basically lifeless zombies. It's the side of the box and the back here. Okay, let's get these guys out of the package. Here are the Netflix Wave 3 Deluxes out of the package. They come with their respective instruction sheet. We have deep cover here, Chidor, Sparkless Bot, and Deseeus army drone. You can see the colors here are that of Kingdom with that bright green. And you have the figures themselves with their respective weapons. Now this won't be a full review, more of an overview and comparison, as I've already reviewed these molds in other characters. I'll put links to those reviews in the description below if you want to check them out. Okay, let's take a look at deep cover here. Now he comes with his weapons, which can separate, and let's put it on his shoulder here. He looks to have the same paint application as the Netflix Sideswipe and Red Alert. You can see some battle damage here. I think this is a little bit different on the window though. Now one thing to note, the plastic is gray and the blue is painted on. Now if you're hoping to remove all the space gunk and just have a nice clean blue, it might be difficult to remove that without removing the blue paint. Would have been nice if this was molded in blue instead of painted. Now here on the right I have the Generation Selects deep cover, which to me looks the part of deep cover. I think I would have preferred this guy just to be a new character than instead of calling him deep cover. Now if you're one of those folks who like to collect a single figure to represent a character, I would say definitely the Generation Selects deep cover is the way to go, because there's a lot more paint apps. You can see on the legs, on the chest with the symbol here, as well on the back with the police shield here. Definitely a much better representation of the character deep cover in terms of colors, and also having the better paint apps. In addition, you get a gun, which you do not get with the Netflix version of deep cover. So in the little headcanon in my mind, this is not deep cover, this is deep cover. I'm gonna give this guy a new name. Next we have Cheetor. Now this Cheetor is basically a repaint with actually slightly less paint apps. We'll get into that a little bit later. Comes with his tail weapon. Pretty interesting choice of character for the Netflix line. Kind of tells me Cheetor might play an important role in the next installment of the War for Cybertron trilogy. Here on the right, I have the Kingdom version of Cheetor, and as you can see, the Netflix version is probably a little more show accurate to the original Beast Wars show, but maybe this is how he's going to look like in the Netflix show as well. Just right off the bat, you can see he doesn't have as much paint apps. Kingdom Cheetor has paint apps on his legs, while the Netflix version does not. Also, you can see on this little tail axe, there's no paint on the blade. So it's a little odd that Netflix Cheetor is in a line that touts additional paint apps for most of its figures, when this one, there's no battle damage or additional paint apps. It's just different. I do like the metallic. I think it looks a lot better in this color than in the Kingdom version. There's also no blue paint apps up here like it is here. And here on the right is my custom Cheetor that I did a while ago. Had I known this would have been released, I would have probably not get a second Kingdom Cheetor to customize and just customize this guy because most of the work is already done on him. Next we have a new character, which is the Deseeus army drone. He's basically an Ironhide repaint. You can see his weapon over here. You can see the symbol on his chest indicating he is a Quintesson. I don't know, he's very cool. I may pick another one. I think when it comes to drones and army builders, I want at least 2. If I see more in the stores, I may be inclined to pick more up. Now for me, the battle damage for this drone makes sense, but it looks a little heavy-handed. But I don't know. Like, there's no battle damage on the wheels, but they definitely got most of this robot figure. Because this is a later version of this mold, they did fix the floppy panels that tend to pop off with the original Ironhide mold. And speaking of the original Ironhide mode, here is Ironhide with some toy hacks treatment on him. As you can see, they are basically the same, just a repaint. I like how the paint gradient of the hammer has been applied. If you look at the back though, this guy is pretty clean, so it's kind of funny that all the space gunk is on the front of the figure and none is on the back. Well, I guess you can say some is on the back here. If you look closely at the chest, it looks like they applied some of that space gunk on the windshield as well. Still a very cool addition. Hoping to find a few more of these guys out in the wild. Last but not least in this wave is the Sparkless Bot, and I think he got all the paint app treatment here. Let's put his gun. I gotta say the rust effect on him looks really cool. I love the flat colors here. Now he is based upon Siege Barricade. On the back here you can see he's a little bit clean. And does look like some paint application is done on the windshield. It's very faint and hard to see, but it's definitely not a clean windshield. On the right, I have Siege Barricade with some toy hacks, so it's definitely based on this mold. Just like the Deseeus drone, I'm probably going to army build him, maybe get 2 or 3 if I can find them in the wild. Now the paint apps on the rims are something that I did, so the original figure did not come with that. Overall, very cool application of paint on this guy. Really like it. Hey, let's get these guys in their alternate modes. Here they are in their alternate forms. Let's take a look at deep cover. Looks like I have to do a little cleanup here. Some red paint, probably from the tail light, got stuck here in this little groove. The more I look at this figure, I wish it was a different character because he just doesn't have the deep cover vibe to him. I mean, there's no police shield on him in vehicle mode, and really the colors. If you can think of a name for this guy, let me know in the comments below. But in my headcanon, this will be a new character. Next we have Chidor. Now the lack of paint apps on the legs actually looks a lot better for him in cheetah mode, but I think I'd rather apply the paint on the legs because I don't mind little robot parts showing in beast mode. I'd rather have the robot mode look a lot better. Let's close his mouth here. The darker tone of orange is a lot more preferable for me, so I think it looks really cool that way. Next you have the Deseeus army drone. Pretty much what you would expect in vehicle mode with all the space gunk. No space gunk here. Ironically, they put some on the inside panel, and on both sides actually, but nothing here, so it would have been nice if it was applied more consistently. But very cool looking. Like I said, I'm gonna get a couple of these. Last but not least, the Sparkless Bot, and I think in this mode the paint apps really shine. I mean, you have this really nice rust effect on him, which is really cool. Liking it a lot actually. I'm thinking this is probably the same method used to apply camouflage paint apps. but in this manner, it does look pretty cool. The back part here is pretty clean, but it is what it is. That's pretty much Wave 3 in their alternate forms. Let's get these guys back to robot mode for my final thoughts. So my final thoughts for the Netflix Wave 3 Deluxes. A little mixed. I guess for me, the high point of this wave are probably these two guys, the Deseeus Army Drone and the Sparkless Bot. While they are repaints of existing molds, they are new characters, so to speak. Probably the weakest in this wave for me is Deep Cover, just because there's already a Generation Selects version of Deep Cover that is a lot better than what we have here, because the Generation Selects version has the extra weapon. I think the paint apps are a lot better, and of course the color matches the character more. This figure would probably be a better sell for me personally in my mind if it was named a new character, being he is a blue sideswipe repaint. Now with Cheetor, the figure looks a lot better in my opinion than the Kingdom release, even though it lacks some paint application. I just think the colors are a lot better, but it came really close to the Kingdom release a few months ago. I kind of wish they used this figure for Kingdom and filled the deluxe spot with a different character. Well, that is it in a nutshell for me. Kind of a mixed bag, as I said. Anyway, that is it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and some suggestions to call this character. And thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Follow us on social media and check out our Discord. Links in the description below.